Welcome to our Get Started with the CommBox Classic S5 training video. If you're part of the tech team setting up the screen, this is the video for you. To begin, let's turn on the screen. Ensure the CommBox is plugged into the closest power point and is switched on. Also, check the CommBox power switch located on the back of the CommBox is in the on position. You will now see a red LED light on the front of the screen. This will then turn white. This shows that the CommBox screen is turning on. The first time you switch on your Classic S5, you will need to go through the Google Setup Wizard. It will begin by asking you your preferred language and vision settings. Next, it will tell you that it's getting your tablet ready. Essentially, Google treats interactive flat panels like the S5 as a giant tablet, so you will see references to tablet and phones throughout the setup. The next screen is an example of that. You'll be asked if you'd like to copy apps and data. We recommend tapping Don't Copy. You will then be asked to enter your Google account details. Please be aware that any file attached to this account can easily be accessed on the screen, so if the screen is to be used in a public space like a meeting room or classroom, you may wish to use a Google account that does not have access to certain files in the Google Drive. Or you may wish to not log in at all. You'll be asked to accept a number of policies during this setup as well. We always recommend reviewing policies to ensure they're in line with your organization. You will be asked to create a PIN at this point to secure your device. We recommend setting a PIN that will be memorable for those that need to use the device and to keep the PIN information stored safely with the IT or AV department. Next, it will ask you about your preferred navigation mode. We highly recommend the traditional navigation. You will then select your country or region. And finally, you will be asked to accept CommBox service policies. Again, ensure that these are in line with your organization's values before accepting. Well done! You've made it through the setup wizard. Your Classic S5 will start in Google Certified mode, offering a basic Android interface that may feel familiar. However, we recommend switching to CommBox OS Experience mode, designed to provide greater control, security, flexibility, and a better user experience. To switch modes, open the CommBox Experience app, enable CommBox OS Experience. Now you can configure the device to best suit your organization's preferences. From the Accounts and Security page, you can restrict your device to the CommBox lobby. This ensures the ultimate in cybersecurity, while still allowing logged-in users full access to their favorite apps and tools. You can also restrict access to any and all apps in this menu. If you'd prefer that the team doesn't have access to the Google Play Store, you can restrict that here. On the next page, you can set up the stand. Next is the place you can set up your administrator PIN. Setting this PIN will lock all of the settings menus so that unauthorized users can't reconfigure the device. Tap Set, then enter a 6 or more digit code and hit Enter. You'll be asked to confirm this. And importantly, you can export the settings you have configured and use this file to set up any other S5 to have the exact same setup. To do this, we're going to plug in a USB drive, tap Export and name our file. Great, now we can import this file into CommBox Experience on another device. Save and exit when you're finished. The screen will now reboot. When the screen has restarted, you will see that you're now in CommBox Experience mode. To have access to device settings on the screen at any time, simply drag up from the bottom of the screen. The first page allows you to switch between inputs. You can lock inputs later, so stay tuned if that's of interest. The other tabs are all locked with the unified PIN you created when setting up CommBox OS Experience. Enter that PIN and you will have access to configure the image, sound and screen. You can also configure the power settings here. At this point, we highly recommend adding a power schedule. It will save on electricity and your power bill, as well as extend the life of the screen. Under Other, you will find Configuration for HDMI controls. And Lock will allow you to lock input devices as well as rename them. From this menu, you can also freeze the screen, mute, change the volume and the brightness. But the settings don't stop there. Navigate to the Settings app. Again, you'll see the unified administrator PIN you created in the CommBox OS Experience. Once you have entered that, you configure the screen to suit your needs. In here, you will find settings for Internet, connected devices, apps, notifications, storage, sound, display, wallpaper, accessibilities, security and privacy. location, passwords and accounts, digital well-being and parental controls, Google services, advanced settings, administrator settings, system settings, which is where you'll go for the system updates, and of course info about your CommBox Classic S5. Great! Now you're all set up and ready to go with your CommBox Classic S5.